Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm Tedo, and today I'm going to be ranking my favorite Binding of Isaac characters from Repentance, from S to F, just based on how powerful I think they are, how much I enjoy playing them, and if I have differing opinions to you, that's fine. I'm not trying to attack your favorite character, but yeah, this is just how I feel about them. So jumping right in to Apollyon, I feel like he's a solid C tier for me, just because his runs can get kind of basic unless you get some crazy active items. You kind of just end up voiding a lot of stuff and just kind of boring. Azazel, definitely S tier, a masterpiece to be honest. Starting with Brimstone, starting with Flight, starting with Black Hearts. What more could you ask for in a character? Let's be real. Bethany, I'm gonna put her in A tier actually. I really like starting out with Book of Virtues. Starting out with angel deals instead of a devil deal is great. You have the potential to start out with something amazing like Godhead, Sacred Heart. So for that reason alone, solid A tier for me. Blue Baby, pretty boring. I'm gonna put him in D just because there's not too much to be said about him. He did actually get an update in the latest patch where he might be a little bit more fun to play. They kind of redid some balance things with him. So I'm gonna have to give him another try. I've already completed him, so I wasn't planning on playing him again ever. But I probably will now that he has a new update, and I'll kind of see if my thoughts and opinions change on him. Kane, I'm gonna put him in B tier. I do like starting out with Luckfoot because it's really nice to only get good pills for your whole run, just straight off the bat. And then also getting a higher gambling chance is really good. I tend to play a lot of gambling machines. Eden, I do enjoy Eden runs sometimes, but it gets really annoying when you start out with such a low tier rate sometimes, or low damage. But you can also start out with really good items. So I'm gonna put him in B tier because it is fun just completely randomizing everything. Eve, I have kind of, I think maybe an unpopular opinion on Eve. I love Eve. I think she's one of the best normal characters. Starting out with over 5 damage and high speed is absolutely insane. So I'm actually gonna put her in A tier. Forgotten, solid S tier. That is really fun character to play with the mechanics of the melee, just swinging your bow around. That's what she said. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know the bony boy. Isaac, I'm gonna put Isaac in B just because starting out with the D6 is really fun, just re-rolling things. You can, get a bunch of items in the secret room from a judgment card or something, re-roll them into secret room items, or re-roll the key pieces from angel rooms into angel room items. So that's a really powerful starting item. Jacob and Esau. F. Solid F. And I have actually grown to like them a little bit more since I completed them, but it is really tricky at the beginning to not take damage when you have double the hitbox basically. Strategies I like for them is just give one of them every item. Not every item, but every good item give to one of them, and then that way one of them at least will be overpowered, and even if the other one is trash, you can still kind of make your way through the game. And then as well as going to all path to get the double items, and then angel rooms. That's a little tricky because it's kind of hard to get through 3 floors without taking damage from them. But if you can manage it, you can possibly get 2 angel room items. Judas, I didn't really like him at first, but now that I'm more experienced at the game, I'm gonna say he's A tier for me. It is a little bit tough starting out with low HP, but starting out with high damage, that goes a long way. So starting out with high base damage plus Book of Belial is great. Keeper, honestly, I hate Keeper. He is like my least favorite character. There is some fun things you can do with sacrifice rooms, and it's a lot easier to play than most other characters, but I just don't enjoy him. I hate having a low fire rate unless you get a lot of tiers upgrades, and it's just not my cup of tea. Lazarus, this is interesting because he also got a buff in the latest patch, and I haven't tried it yet. So I'm just gonna go based on the old Lazarus, which I'm sure all of us are familiar with, and I think most of us would agree he's a solid D tier. Not too interesting of a character. The only real interesting thing about him was his revival mechanic, which they did rework now to make it a little bit better so that you can reuse the revive. But as he was not a good character. Lilith, this might be an unpopular opinion. I see a lot of people not liking Lilith, but she's S tier for me. If you get any battery item, 4.5 volt, car battery, literally anything that increases your charge on your spacebar item, she is insane. You can basically get a whole army, and it's way better than having even 2020 or Mutant Spider or something like that, because it's not going to tank your fire rate or your damage. So she is actually, in my opinion, one of the best characters. The Lost, ooh, this is honestly a skill issue as well, but I do not enjoy playing as the Lost. I was so happy when I completed him. I was like, oh, thank the Lord, I'm never gonna have to do this again. Although actually I did play a run the other day as him when I was trying to do the It's the Key challenge, where you can't pick up any coins, keys, or bombs the whole run to unlock the Ace of Spades card. And that actually was not too bad, because he gets free devil deals, which is great, and then you can't pick up hearts, obviously, so it made the challenge a little bit easier. But in a typical run, no, I don't like it. Maggie, I would say she's a very mid-tier character for me. I like starting out with high HP because I do take a lot of damage, and then now that she starts out with a full health pill, it's really great for abusing the sacrifice rooms, but nothing earth-shattering about this character. Also starting with low speed, trash. Samson. I actually really enjoy playing as Samson because, like I've mentioned several times in the video, I have a lot of skill issues and take a lot of damage. So it's nice to get rewarded for your mistakes in a way and getting damage up. You can also, again, abuse sacrifice rooms with him. You can play blood donation machines with him and get a really nice damage boost. So I would say he's an A tier character for me. Tainted Apollyon. I actually am going to put him in C tier as well, just for the same exact reason as Apollyon. There's nothing really interesting about the character. The locusts can be fun, but I feel like they didn't really go as far as they could have with the synergies and everything, so not the best. Tainted Azazel, another S tier, solid. How can you beat starting with Brimstone? Really, Azazel and Tainted Azazel were my first set of complete characters, I guess, just because it's so much easier to go through the game with them, and I was kind of learning all the attack patterns and everything. So if you're starting out with Isaac, I definitely recommend playing as them first and just kind of getting used to the game, because it makes things so much easier. Tainted Bethany, definitely an S tier. Again, like with Lilith, if you get any battery item, 4.5 volt, especially car battery, you're gonna absolutely demolish everything. I've had so many runs with her where I get like the most insane synergies just from my wisps. Oh my god, I actually had a run with her where I used Lemegaton and I got Sacred Orb from it, and then from that point forward, every single wisp became quality 3 or 4, and I was like, whoa, it was absolutely insane. Tainted Blue Baby, I honestly really haven't tried him that much. I've tried a couple runs that I have not gotten any completion marks on because I kept dying, but so far, I'm gonna say he's also a D tier. Not my cup of tea. I don't really like switching up every single mechanic in terms of bombs and stuff, so not the best. Tainted Kane, he's another character that I have been procrastinating just because I know I'm gonna take hours probably to finish him. It's really sad when you play as him and then you find a really good item like Polyphemus, Sacred Heart, anything like that, and then you just have to destroy it and get consumables. But on the other side, you can also craft anything that you want, so there's good and bad with that character. Tainted Eden, this is actually probably another unpopular opinion, but I love Tainted Eden. It's really interesting because if you get enough items and then you take damage, you're eventually going to reroll into something that's not trash, hopefully. I have rerolled into Cursed Eye and just like the worst things ever as him, and that's really disappointing, but it makes up for it when you reroll into like Sacred Heart, Trisagion, anything super busted, so I would say he's an A tier for me. Tainted Eve, definitely an S tier. I did a whole video on crazy synergies that I found with her. She has some of the best gameplay in my opinion, because You typically don't really find too much of a use for any extra red hearts on the ground unless you have a sacrifice room or a blood donation machine. So she's really great at making use of those extra hearts, in turn giving you a DPS up. So she's great with anything with a higher fire rate, anything with a laser, technology, brimstone, what have you. Tainted Forgotten, probably another unpopular opinion, but I've been playing the Hot Potato Challenge, and for that reason alone, I'm putting you in D tier. I just could not wrap my head around his mechanics for the longest time, and I hate if you throw the skeleton and you accidentally hit an item pedestal, the frickin' skeleton picks it up. How does that make sense? And also, why does a skeleton drop bombs and not the ghost? Edmund, why? Why would you do that? Tainted Isaac, probably a B tier for me as well, just because the inventory limit is obviously very limiting for your build, but having the 2 items re-rolled can get you some really good stuff, so probably a B tier for me. Tainted Jacob. Oh, this is another one that I've been struggling with. I do not have any completion marks on him yet. I've been trying to beat the Red Redemption Challenge and getting like 5 Dark Esau's to follow me at the same time, and it is so stressful. Like, I want to cry every time. So for me, I'm sorry, it's gonna be an F. Sorry, Jacobs. Oh. Tainted Judas, he's probably an A tier for me. Good damage, I like the dark arts mechanics, free curse rooms. How could you go wrong with that? Ooh, Tainted Keeper, S tier all the way, baby. That's probably one of my favorite characters to play in terms of fun, just because you can get such busted shots sometimes. Tainted Lazarus, F. F, 100%. I despise this character. I've gotten some completion on him, but every run ends up taking me so long because I'm trying to optimize between the item charges and just trying to make sure each character gets equal spirit hearts and everything. It's a no for me, dog. Tainted Lilith, I'm gonna put her in A. I do like her gameplay, and she really does destroy early floors really nicely. Not as great as normal Lilith for me, just because I really like the Box of Friends Incubus combination, but she is pretty fun. I like Jello. Tainted Lost. Oof. I'm actually gonna put him in B tier. I finished Tainted Lost not long after I finished Normal Lost, and I found it a lot easier just not having to constantly get freaking breakfast all the time and just completely useless items. Tainted Maggie. Do I like her? Wow, she's not very memorable. God, what is her mechanics? I didn't even finish her that long ago, and I can't even remember what her gameplay is like. So that tells me she's probably a D. Yeah, I know, I mean, you do like the melee attacks and hug the enemies and get health from it, but it's just kind of lame for me. Tainted Samson, I'm gonna say a B for me. Yeah, I like the Berserk, but at the same time, it is kind of annoying when Berserk triggers and you have something that's really good normally, and then it kind of goes away when you use Berserk. So for that reason, he's a B tier for me. For example, I had a run where I went to Mother and I had Brimstone, and it still does kind of work when you have Berserk, but it's not the same range. So it's a little bit trickier to hit enemies that are farther away. Alright guys, so that's my rankings for all the characters. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you think I'm dead wrong. I'd love to hear your opinions on the characters, which character is your favorite, which character do you hate. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. I am going out of town this weekend, so I probably won't be uploading for maybe 3 days or something like that, but I'll try to get some stuff up, hopefully scheduled before then, but I don't know because I got a lot of stuff to do, so we shall see. Oh, I did want to thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm at like 1.1 or something like that now, so thank you so much for the support. I have been getting a lot of hate here on YouTube lately, which is really funny to me because maybe like a month ago, I was getting like 10 views on my videos. So it's interesting to see my audience growing and then seeing all the haters come in, and they don't really get to me, but I do really appreciate anyone who has supported me, left nice comments and is enjoying my content, and y'all are the reason I'm still doing it and not letting those people get to me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I am planning to do kind of like a community post thing for you guys. I'm gonna run some polls on the community posts here on YouTube, and I'm gonna let you guys pick what items I get for my runs. So it should be really interesting. I'm gonna probably put like 3 or 4 options for each item room and boss room, and then if you want me to go angel rooms or devil rooms, what path you want me to take and everything. So I think that would be really fun, kind of get you guys participating in the video. And yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to see me do, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.